And we're live. All
What's up?
right, guys. What's up, man? Welcome to
What's up,
episode
man?
number
Thanks for having.
18 of the Michael Ryder Show. I have Dylan Shafer here today. He's here. We're going to do an NCAA Tournament special. So basically, we're going to talk everything you want to know about the 2021 NCAA Tournament. I got my good friend Dylan Shafer here. How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So I just want to get your thoughts real quick before. What's your thoughts on the year with COVID, everything like that? So how do you think this is possible, or do you think
I think it gets done. Obviously, I think it's gonna happen. There's too much money to be lost, but there may be a team that catches a bad break with COVID. I mean, that'd be a heartbreak, man, to get this far through this tough season and to get to the tournament and have a positive case and have to have a team like Louisville replace you. Louisville's the first replacement, and you know what I mean? Like they shot down an NIT bid because they think somebody's going to get COVID and they're going to get a shot at the game. So, I mean, we'll see.
I think because Virginia and Kansas were the two that originally had been kicked out. Well, not really kicked out, but who had to leave due to COVID. So I don't see. I really have a good feeling that no one is going to be sent home.
Man, I'm really hoping nobody gets sent home. I'm hoping everybody gets to play their games because it was a tough year, dude. Even for like WVU, like we had some brutal stretches of games. Just rescheduled Baylor 4 times, and I mean, there's teams in the tournament that are 15-1. Like some of these mid majors, man, they only played like 17 games, 15 games, like just barely hit the minimum on the threshold to qualify for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that was really. If you look at like the records, especially, you'll see teams like Gonzaga, 27 games, usually play about 32 by now. And, some teams have only played, 22. And that was so different not having the non-conference games in November, December. You get to see some of these smaller teams play. You don't get to have that this year. So that was definitely different.
Well, it was detrimental to these mid-majors, these smaller teams, because they make a lot of money for these big schools to come in the beginning of the year and play them. You know what I mean? It is man, it's been bad for the whole landscape of college basketball. And I was listening to ESPN last night during the selection show, and the one of the executives commissioner, I'm not sure who it was, but he said like 84% of all scheduled games got played, and 99% of all conference tournament games got played. The Ivy League is the only one that's left out of this. They decided not to participate in the postseason. But I mean, all in all, man, it's considering the circumstances, it's been pretty solid year.
Definitely a different year. If you think about it, I think this is the first time since 1976 that neither a Kentucky nor Duke has been to the NCAA tournament. It was in the NCAA tournament.
I love it, man. I love it.
That I've never. So in our entire lifetime, there has always been Kentucky or Duke in the tournament.
Absolutely, and I'm a big Duke fan, actually, man. I love Duke. They're like number 2 to my to WVU, because I was like 5 years old, man, and got a Duke basketball. I don't know, loved them. JJ Redick, dude. They had some dogs back when, you know what I mean? Like, man, they were so good. I mean, they're good now, but back then they were 4-year guys, man. Just straight dominating.
That's why I really enjoy watching JJ. I'm not a big Duke guy, but man, JJ, just watching that and seeing like like the actual away crowds, sending him text messages or calling him, I guess you could say, in the middle of the night.
Dude, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But what we'll go ahead and do is we're going to go through basically every single game. We're going to talk about it.
Let's do it, man. There's a lot to be talked about, man. This is going to be a fun tournament. And I want to tell you right now, this is going to be a mental game. Like, we're going to see who's been, it's not going to be for everybody because they're not going home. They went to Indy today, and they're sitting in a motel room. They can't practice. They can't do anything. They have to negative COVID test till game day. It's going to be a mental game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, first, before we jump to the Gonzaga game, you got the playing game. You got Norfolk State, App State. I think whoever wins that, you're not getting past Gonzaga either way. But Who do you got in that, and do you have Gonzaga moving on?
Man, I'll tell you what I like about App State is they're a top 40 scoring defense. They hit a bunch of threes. This is their first appearance since 2000. I mean, I hope they're excited to go. Conference champion. And then you jump over to Norfolk State. They're conference champion too, but nothing really sticks out to me about Norfolk State. They have a guy that averages 15 a game in Devontae Parker. The only good thing about them is they're top 40 in the nation in three-point percentage, which might go in their favor as far as Norfolk State goes. And they're a deep team, so man, I'm going to have to go with the Appalachian State Mountaineers, dude. They got that top 40 defense, and I think they look better on paper.
Yeah, I'm good with that one as well. But like I said, between that and Gonzaga, I got Gonzaga moving on to the second round on that.
Man, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Gonzaga's moving on, dude. It's crazy, man. They're so good. Oh man. So
now the next one, you go on down. You got Oklahoma, Missouri. You got the 8-9 matchup.
Missouri. This is gonna be a game, bro. This right here is gonna be a game. I think it's Oklahoma end of the year bad, man. They were hot. Shit, they busted a WVU's ass twice. That's hard to do.
Yeah, Oklahoma's not playing very good.
No, but they're a deep team. They're battle tested, man. You know what I mean? Austin Reeves, 17 points a game, 5 boards, 4 assists. On down the line, Harmon's at 13 points a game. Brady Manick's a beast down low. I have to go Oklahoma here. I'm biased toward the Big 12, obviously, but I truly think the gauntlet of the Big 12. I think these Big 12 teams are going to do very, very well in the tournament.
Yeah, I got Missouri going on that one. I don't like how Oklahoma's playing towards the end, and that's at this time of the year, man. It's all about catching hot fire.
I'm not going to dog you for that pick, man. They're an old team. They played a hard schedule. They hit Oklahoma at the right time. They're getting them at the right time. There's no doubt about it.
All right, let's go on down. It's Creighton, University of California, Santa Barbara.
Man, this right here, this game really, really interests me. Creighton just got beat by 25 points in the Big East tournament by Georgetown, who, by the way, ended up getting the automatic bid out of the conference tournament. They would have never even made the tournament, obviously. If they had not won the conference tournament, man. They beat Creighton's on a little bit of a downfall, but statistically, man, they're great. Great in field goal percentage. Great in they make a ton of threes. They're 8 deep. What more could you have? They only allow 68 points a game. I like Creighton, but this is one of my upset picks. UC Santa Barbara. Top 20 in field goal percentage, top 20 in scoring defense. Dude, this Ja'Cory McLaughlin kid is an absolute stud. Average 60 points a game, dude. I got Santa Barbara in this game, dude. 12 seed, moving on.
Oh, 12-5. Hey, that 12-5 matchup, there's always going to be that one.
Yeah. There might be two this year. I can't. We'll see it going down, but there might be more than one.
Wait until we go further. I think I picked about 12 seeds this year.
Absolutely, man. Dude, this Santa Barbara team, they only allow 62 points a game. Their defense is phenomenal. Obviously, they didn't play anybody, but still, they play good defense. They make shots. I like them, especially with Creighton getting beat like that by Georgetown. I think that gives UC Santa Barbara a ton of confidence going into this game.
Okay, I like it. All right, let's move on down. Virginia at the 4 seed, playing 13 seed Ohio.
Well, this is one of them COVID squads, man. The whole team is. I meant to touch on this earlier when we got started, but the whole team's in quarantine till Thursday. So these games are played. When is
Saturday is when Virginia plays. So they did push it back.
Okay, that's good. I like what they did there. That's good with moving that, giving them maximum amount of time. But they play. They're in quarantine till Thursday. No workouts. No nothing. And then you don't even know who they're going to be able to have.
Exactly. But that's the thing too, is because I was looking at the schedules. I was like, because normally you'd have to play in games probably Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you'd have the first round Thursday and Friday, and then you have the second round Saturday, Sunday. So this year it's a little different. But with that one, I'm going Virginia, even if too much talent. Ohio, great season, but you know what? Virginia's moving on. That's my pick on that one.
Man, well, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that, Ryder, because Ohio is going to move on right up the road from Charleston, not that far away. They make shots. They have a defense, and they make a bunch of shots, matter of fact. They're number 6 in the land in assists, 5 guys in double figures. I think they get Virginia at a good time, and I think they beat Virginia, man. That was my 2 upsets, and you got a 13-12 matchup in the round of 32. So you have a 12 or a 13 seed moving on to the Sweet 16, and I believe that's going to happen.
Okay. Well, 6 seed Southern Cal will play the winner of the 11 seed playing game Wichita State and Drake.
Man, this game right here is interesting to me because USC has Evan Mobley, who is an absolute stud.
I think he's like the second overall prospect right now.
Yeah. He's one of the league top 3 pick without a doubt. I mean, they're a great rebounding team. They're great. They get a lot of blocks. They have great defense. I mean, they scrap. You know what I mean? They're not the best offensive team. I mean, they're all right, but USC, I think they move on here, but it'll be a tough game because it'll be a tough game. Just these 11 matchups that come out off that first round matchup, they got a chip on their shoulder. They're just always a tough team. And bet money that one of these first 4 round teams is gonna win a game.
Okay, I got Drake winning the playing game. I have USC moving on.
Yeah,
I got Drake. I got Drake beating Wichita State, and I got USC moving on in the second round.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I'm going to have to agree with you on that because USC's I like them. I think they're good. Mobley's nice. He's real nice, actually. And that's one thing we don't get a lot. All these good top NBA prospects in the tournament. We haven't had that in the past few years. So I'm excited to see that.
Now, this team right here that we're about to talk about, I am really not completely high on them. But this team is playing a lot better basketball right now, and that's Kansas.
I'm high on Kansas.
So Kansas has got Eastern Washington.
I don't know much about Eastern Washington. They don't really look good on paper. I mean, they score a bunch of points against low-tier teams, and they got like 3 or 4 guys in double figures, and good offensive team. But what worries me is the low defensive rating against these low-level teams that they played all season. So I think Kansas takes care of business. I have Kansas going pretty far. They're hot.
I really
this season. They won the year winning 9 of 10.
Yeah, they went January. They were 3-5 in the month of January.
Yeah,
and then I think they went 7. I'd have to look it up, like 7-2 or something of that nature in the month of March, February as well.
Absolutely, and they're pretty good defensive team too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I got them, so we'll talk more about Kansas here in a little bit.
Absolutely.
Now, this one right here, we got Oregon, VCU is a 7-10 matchup. VCU being the 10, Oregon being the 7. I got VCU in the upset. I got VCU winning on that one.
Man, I like the pick. I do, because VCU plays hard-nosed defense. You remember the Shaka Smart days, man? Like they were absolutely relentless on the defensive side of the ball. And I just have to go with Oregon. I think Oregon, they get hot. They could make a run. Pac-12 champs.
Definitely.
Top 15 in three-point percentage. They're pretty average on offense and defense. Deep team, older team. Got Oregon moving on in this one.
Okay. Finishing out the West, you have number 2 seed Iowa and 15 seed Grand Canyon. I got Iowa.
Yeah, that's all I got to say, man. Who the hell is Grand Canyon? Other than I must say this their first tournament bid in history. I mean, we should give them more respect. I should give more respect.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I want to ask later on. Do you think there will be any 4 seeds like we'll pull Virginia from 2018? Do you think that will happen this year?
I do. Oklahoma State 4 seed.
As in like a 1-16 matchup. Do you think there will be a 16? Yeah.
No,
Do you think?
I don't think you'll ever see it once a 16 seed be the 1 seed.
I think you will, not this year, but you will again soon.
You think?
Sooner. Yeah, I think it will.
Man, it's hard to do, but it could happen.
It could happen, but I mean, I don't see it happening this year though.
Tell me hear me on these stats with Grand Canyon. Number 9 scoring defense, top 15 in rebounds, top 20 in assists, top 5 in field goal percentage, and they have a 7-footer in Midtsguard who is an absolute beast. Double machine.
I mean, I'm not, awesome. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him, but guess what? You're 0-1. You're done. You're 0-1. 0-1 against top 25 teams. You didn't play nobody.
Facts. Okay.
Congrats. You had a great season. You have nice commercials. I understand it. But guess what? I was going to roll.
He said nice commercials.
I was going to roll. I was going to roll big on this one.
Man, absolutely. Where are we going now?
We're going to the East brackets. 1 seed Michigan playing. Ooh, we got the playing game with who we got here. Texas Southern. And let me see who is the playing game for the Texas Southern.
Texas Southern and Mount St. Mary's. They're both conference champions.
Okay.
Mount Mary out of the NEC, not a real impressive record. Really good defensive team, but that's really all terrible offense. I'm not real high on Mount St. Mary's. Texas Southern out of the SWAC, they're not real impressive either, man. They're a good rebounding team, good at defense. I mean, this is going to be a dogfight, actually. Both are good at defense, good at rebounds, good at blocking. I mean, terrible offense.
Texas Southern.
I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to agree.
But either way, Michigan, I had them going pretty decently far.
I do too.
Michigan rolls.
I seen a thing this morning. Vegas, if Michigan wins the national championship, Vegas is going to lose a lot of money because they weren't high on them to begin the year. And let's just say if Michigan wins the national championship, Vegas is not going to be happy about it.
Well, rolling on down, you got LSU and St Bonaventure in the 8-9 matchup.
Man, I wanted to pick St Bonaventure in this bad because they're 15-4. I mean, they're pretty decently good team, but LSU just came out they just had a heartbreaking loss in the SEC championship game. LSU moves on, and they have six top 100 ESPN top 100 recruits on that roster, man. I mean that LSU roster has more talent than I've seen in a while out of an LSU team.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. Their record does not reflect how good they actually are.
Yeah, I got LSU moving on. I think it would be a good game up close at first. I think LSU pulls away in the second half.
Yeah, just due to the fact St. Bonaventure has no depth. All starting 5 in double figures, and that's all they got, man.
Now this matchup right here.
I'm back and forth on this one.
This one, are you looking the same one? Colorado, Georgetown.
Yeah.
Georgetown.
Man, I would love to see Georgetown win this game, but it's not happening. I'm going Colorado. Colorado's too good. They won 22 games, man. Like, great defense team, strength of schedule, middle of the pack, and Colorado rolls. But I will not be surprised if Georgetown wins. They're hot right now. They're excited. Yeah. Their coach is upset because they didn't know who he was at Madison Square Garden, and that's a good pick, Ryder.
Yeah, I mean that's Georgetown. They're hot right now, and that's what I like about them. They're great coach. I can see it. I don't see them going any further, but I can see them squeaking out a win.
Yeah, they might squeak out a win, but I'm still going Colorado, man.
Now, next 4-13 matchup, you got 4 seed Florida State and 13 seed UNC Greensboro.
Leonard Hamilton and the boys at Florida State are a 3-point shooting machine. Florida State all day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all day. Florida State rolls. UNC Greensboro is 0-3. all time in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, wow.
Not like that really matters, but Florida State can limit the turnovers. Florida State, especially in the UNC game, the Georgia Tech game in the ACC championship, turned the ball over way too many times.
Absolutely, I agree.
We'll talk about Georgia Tech here in a little bit, and very, very similar play to what WVU did a couple years ago. Very, very similar. Up in your face, cause the turnovers. But we'll talk more about them here in a little bit. Florida State rolls, I think, on that one. Moving on down, BYU, the 6th seed, and 11th seed, UCLA, and Michigan State in the play-in game.
Who you got in this one?
I got Michigan State in the play-in game. And then I have Michigan State beating BYU.
I want to agree with you. I totally agree with you up to there. Michigan State's going to win, and I think they are going to give BYU all they want. But BYU's almost beat Gonzaga twice this year, man.
Yeah.
Literally had Gonzaga on the ropes twice and couldn't get the job done. That is the only reason I'm picking BYU. And I think I'm an analytics kind of guy, big time. I like to go off the analytics and some of these new computed devices and platforms that they have these days. There was one out there that has BYU going to the Elite Eight just off of analytics alone.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to see how they do, man. I'm excited to see how they do, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, either way, I think that is right there, honestly. That's the best playing game right there.
It's the best playing game.
Not just going off namesake, but, I mean, Michigan State's, pretty solid team. UCLA, of course, solid team. But I could see Michigan State. If Michigan State can get out from UCLA, I think they have a good shot beating BYU. Yeah.
That's completely reasonable. I still got BYU just because they've played Gonzaga and they have a lot of wins, but anything's possible. But one thing about UCLA, man, they have 7 former ESPN top 100 recruits. I mean, that's a loaded roster. They still trying to get it together.
All right. Well, hey man, we'll see. That's gonna be a good matchup. Keep your eye on that one.
Absolutely.
Because it really depends on.
All these are such good matchups. I mean, I think we're gonna have a slew of good games.
Oh, wait till we get to the when I was picking my bracket out when I got to the Sweet 16 Elite 8 range, bro.
It's crazy, right?
Some good games if it does come to it, But moving on down, another team I'm really, really high on right now. 3 seed Texas and Abilene Christian. Is that how you pronounce it?
Abilene Christian, yeah.
Okay. Texas rolls.
Don't know shit about Abilene Christian, obviously. I mean.
Texas rolls. Come on.
Yeah, man. Texas rolls.
Texas rolls. Come on. All right. This would be a good matchup right here. Moving on down a little bit. 7 seed UConn, 10 seed Maryland.
Man, this is a very good matchup, and I'm conflicted on it because that is a UConn team that's very good, just a very good gritty team. Offensive rebounds, good in block. I mean, top 5 in the country in offensive rebounds and blocks alone. I mean, they got a guy in James Bouknight who's averaging damn near 20 points a game and 6 rebounds. Deep team. Yeah, I mean, UConn's good, but Maryland and I'm a Big 12 guy. The Big 10 is hard. So Maryland's battle tested. They got a great defense. Played the number 9 strength of schedule. 10/7. Maryland moves on.
Okay. I have to disagree. I'm going UConn on that one.
Man.
It's hard for me to pick a team from Connecticut, but hey.
And we've had some good games with UConn back in the Big East days.
Yeah.
Those were great games.
The last game for that bracket will be Alabama, the 2 seed, versus 15 seed Iona with Rick Pitino.
Man, Rick Pitino packed like 8 suits. He's trying to rally the team. He's ready. He's taken 5 teams to the tournament. I mean, this Iona team's only played 15 or 16 games. They're 11-5.
12-5, yeah.
Shoot a ton of threes. Isaiah Ross is almost averaging 20 points a game. I mean, I think Iona could give him a run just because it's Rick Pitino's team. But
yeah, I see.
Let's go. Bama's rolling.
If I'm Alabama, upset alert. But Do I think Alabama wins? Yes, I do. But if I was Alabama, I would not be looking past them. Because if I'm looking at any 2-15 matchup, that's the one I think could happen.
It could happen. The only thing I like for Alabama is they're a very, very good offensive team, and they score a bunch of points in a short amount of time. And Nate Oates, do you remember Nate Oates with that Buffalo team that came into Morgantown a couple years ago, the head coach for Alabama, and beat us in Morgantown? It was supposed to be like one of those games you win and pay them a bunch of money, and they came in and beat us. They're good at defense. This Alabama team's tough, but they could be on upset alert for this one, I guess.
Well, more about Alabama here soon because I don't think Alabama's the cream of the crop. I just don't see it. I don't think they're that good. I just don't. 1-3 versus top 25 teams. Only 4 games versus top 25 opponents. I think Alabama is the biggest. What's the worst word I'm looking for? I think they're overrated.
Overseeded?
Overseeded, overrated. I could see them being a 3 or 4 seed, not a 2 seed. Hell no.
Absolutely.
Hell no. Not even Arkansas is not that good. I think the SEC is washed up when it comes to basketball. I just don't see it.
It is a little washed up, but dude, they give the rankings give them a lot of credit as far as strength of record goes, strength of schedule, and all the analytic things. And one quick thing real quick is, do you know much about the net rating on how they seed the NCAA tournament? It's a net rating. It's way different. It's different from the rankings. Obviously, it's more off of analytics, wins and losses, teams you beats, wins and losses, and home court advantage, and so on and so forth. But they went off of that net rating almost to a T this year, which I thought was kind of strange in a situation where COVID was a thing and all that type of stuff.
I mean, basically they split with Arkansas. They beat Tennessee twice. They beat LSU 3 times. They lost to Missouri by 3. Lost to Clemson by 8. Let's talk about Clemson. We're not talking about football here. All right? I'm just saying. They lost to Oklahoma. They lost to Oklahoma by 5. Okay?
Man.
And they beat Florida by 15. And they beat Ole Miss by 18. 1 win versus top 25 teams. I just don't see it. I think they're overseeded. But we'll move on to the South bracket. 1 seed Baylor versus 16 seed Hartford.
Baylor's rolling, man. Baylor's good.
Baylor's
Those are grown-ass men. Even though they've got beat twice here lately, that's a good basketball team.
Well, this would be a really good matchup. 8-9, North Carolina being the 8 seed, Wisconsin being the 9 seed.
I think North Carolina's overrated here. I think Wisconsin is a way better basketball team. They have an excellent defense. They're an old team. Old team. Upperclassmen will carry you in the NCAA tournament. I mean, if you look back at recent champions, like Virginia's recent championship, I mean, they were old, and man, I got Wisconsin in this one.
I do too. I got Wisconsin moving on to play Baylor. Now this one right here, I think this is another 12-5 matchup.
It's an upset.
Villanova-Winthrop. Villanova's missing one of their best players. Struggled a little bit in the Big East tournament. My cousin actually graduated from Winthrop. So I'm pulling for Winthrop.
100%. I agree with you. This Winthrop team is no joke. They are 23-1.
Yeah.
I mean, they score it. They play defense. They're deep. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game. As long as Winthrop hits their shots, whatever.
Yeah,
I think they win.
They show up and just make shots and play basketball. I think Winthrop wins this game easily.
Okay. We got the 4 seed Baylor, 13 seed North Texas, which North Texas is no slouch. North Texas, if you remember correctly, they did play WVU earlier in the year. That was one of those games that they scheduled because of a COVID cancellation.
I do remember that. I don't remember how we looked as much, but I do remember that short notice game there early in the year.
They played pretty well. WVU ended up pulling away there at the end, but I have Purdue winning that one. That was really a toss-up for me.
I did too. Purdue's one of those teams I'm pretty high on. They're statistically good. They're good at defense. They're a big team. I mean, they're bigger. They're a monster. They're like 2 7-footers. I mean, and they slow it down. They slow the pace of the game way down. Limit possessions for the other team, and they pound the rock inside, man. And I think Purdue gets it done.
Okay. Here's another familiar team. 6 seed Texas Tech, 11 seed Utah State.
I love me some Chris Beard in Texas Tech. He is a ball coach, and I think Texas Tech at this 6th line is going to do some damage.
Okay, I got Texas Tech rolling on that one. 3 seed Arkansas, 14 seed Colgate.
Man, Colgate, they're 13-1. They're the number 2 scoring team in the nation behind Gonzaga. I kind of like them. They have number 3 offensive rating in the country. Like, statistically, they're crazy. They make a ton of threes. But Arkansas's been battle-tested, man, in the SEC. The strength of schedule's there. And I just don't think this is the year that Colgate moves on. Arkansas.
No. Yeah, I got Arkansas winning on that one. But I can see Colgate also giving a run for the money, but I see Arkansas pulling away at the end.
Absolutely.
7-10 matchup, 7 seed Florida, 10 seed Virginia Tech. I got Virginia Tech winning this one. I got the 10 seed moving on.
Man, that's a good pick, and I'm almost wanted to go there, but Florida makes shots. They play pretty decent defense, and they came and beat WVU in Morgantown. So I think they're going to be ready to go. Coach Michael White's going to have the boys ready to go.
Yeah, I think. Both these teams. I think this will be a really, really good matchup. I think this is one of the best 7-10 matchups of the tournament.
Very, very, very good matchup.
Yeah, very good matchup. Teams.
You got Trey Mann, Gainesville native, balling out. So,
this will be a good game.
Yeah.
I see Virginia Tech squeaking by. Finish out that bracket. We got 2 seed Ohio State, 15 seed Oral Roberts. Ohio State coming off a devastating loss in the Big Ten tournament.
That was tough. That was a tough one to swallow. That was a grown man game. Illinois is a very good basketball team, and Ohio State has nothing to hang their hats on. And I could see Ohio State making a big run in this thing. They're a pretty good basketball team.
I got them moving on. It'd be close there at the beginning, I think, but Ohio State pulls away in the second half.
I can get with you on that. Only thing about Oral Roberts, man, number 5 3-point shooting team in the country. Make a bunch of threes. You make a bunch of threes, it's hard to overcome, especially if you have an off night shooting. And this other team that you've never even heard of is just banging threes left and right.
That's true, but as they say, you live and you die by it. If you hit them, that's John Beilein taught me that.
Man, I like John Beilein.
I did.
Even though he went to Michigan, he really got WVU basketball on the map. Nothing but respect for John Beilein.
Yeah, I like him. He's Midwest region. You got number 1 seed Illinois, 16 seed Drexler.
That's grown man work there. Illinois rolls. Brad Underwood is a fierce competitor, and Coach Brad Underwood is crazy. Illinois coach, man, I could see him ripping his shirt off on the sideline. He's got these guys ready to go.
Now here's the 8-9 matchup: Loyola, Chicago, and 9 seed Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech made a run, and I love Georgia Tech's coach, Josh Pastner. He is the most enthusiastic. If I'm a basketball player, I want to go play at Georgia Tech for him. I mean, he is an awesome individual. He's upbeat, and he just seems like a great guy to be around, honestly.
Yeah. I like both those teams. I like that matchup. I think that's one of the best first-round matchups that you're going to get.
I mean, Loyola went to the Final Four a couple years ago.
But I'm really, really liking Georgia Tech. But like I was saying earlier, they really remind me of a WVU, the Press Virginia game.
I can see that. I like their coach. He's a gritty guy. Let's get on the floor and play.
But that's going to be a really intriguing matchup if they do make it past for Illinois and Georgia Tech. That'd be a really good game.
It's not happening, Ryder.
I
Loyola
mean,
is going to roll Georgia Tech.
if Georgia Tech does get by, and you get to that scenario in the second round, which we'll get to that as well, but they get that scenario where that team always got a day to prepare for that pressure. That's really where you make your bread and butter at when you run these type of schemes.
Right.
Less time to prepare. Whatever. We'll get to that in the second round. I got Georgia
No, I
Tech
could
winning.
get behind that. I just solely watch. I watched like a couple highlights of this Loyola team. I mean, they're 24-4, and they're the number one defensive team in the country. And I just think with the history of going to the Final Four, they have like one or two players remaining that went to that Final Four a couple years ago, and I think the experience is there. And if they play their game, I think they move on.
Okay. 5 seed Tennessee, 12 seed Oregon State.
Jeez,
Pac-12
this is
tournament champs.
another one of them Oregon State teams that shouldn't even be in the tournament stole somebody's ticket.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Oregon State season is done. Tennessee rolls. Great season, Beavers, but time to go back to Beaverton and look at baseball.
Absolutely.
Because your season is done. Now, this matchup right here, Washington, Oklahoma State, Liberty.
I don't know what to do. This matchup is fucking bananas, dude.
That's gonna be a really good matchup. Upset alerts.
I guess you could say upset alert.
I was really, really 50-50 on that one. I went Oklahoma State. They're playing really good ball right now, but Liberty will give them a game, and Liberty could win that game.
I'm going Oklahoma State too because they got disrespected. They should be a 3 seed, maybe even a 2 seed.
Yeah.
And if Liberty plays any other 4 seed, I pick Liberty. But Oklahoma, man, you already know Mike Boynton is going to have Oklahoma State #1 draft pick and Cade Cunningham. He's going to have them fired up, ready to go. I mean, I could see Oklahoma State making a run to the Final Four, honestly. Like they're fired up. They're ready to go.
Okay. Well, yeah, so we both agree with that one. I see Oklahoma State moving.
But Liberty, I hate to knock Liberty like this because they're a good team, a Tony Bennett disciple and Richie McKay, and they make a ton of threes. And I love Liberty. Like they're great on paper, an old experienced team. But
hey, Liberty plays some really good defense.
They do.
They are only allowing 59.6 points a game.
#3 defense in the country. That's tough basketball, man.
But we'll see what happens when you get a little bit better competition.
Absolutely.
But hey, this is March. Anything can happen, especially on a neutral site game. Moving on down. 4 more games left in the first round. We got 6 seed San Diego State, 11 seed Syracuse. Who do you got on that one?
San Diego State is a really, really good basketball team. They're very good at defense. Top 10 in the country in defense, I think. #4 scoring defense. Wow. Okay. And San Diego State, I'm picking them. But if Jim Boeheim and Syracuse throw that 2-3 at these guys and make them score and win this game from the outside, I mean, I could see Syracuse rolling, honestly.
I think I have that. That was really a tough matchup for me to pick. I have to go with on that one. I'm going San Diego State.
Same, yeah.
That one, that was a tough one. Syracuse is playing pretty good ball right now, but San Diego State's coming on strong as well. We got the 3-14 matchup, Doview and Morehead State.
Let's fucking go, man. The Mountaineers, are you kidding me? Like, we're going to beat the brakes off of Morehead State.
I think that will be. I think Doview wins. I think it's close early. This is how Doview usually goes in tournament games. They play slow, especially opening round. If you remember, say the last few years.
I do. Stephen F. Austin.
Oh, you got Stephen F. Austin? That was a 3-14 matchup.
Exactly. That's why I'm worried. I'm worried, but I think we could. If we're focused, we go in there and win by double digits.
Yeah, I don't see this being a Stephen F. Austin issue. But I could see this being a what's the one who we play 2018? Morant played for him. Murray State.
Oh, Murray State. Yeah.
I
That
could
was a close game.
yeah,
Morant was a dog, though, dude.
yeah, I could see that. Morehead State don't play they play solid defense, 63 points per game allowed. But I think W rolls on that one.
Absolutely. This is a hard one to pick. This next matchup, man.
Clemson, Rutgers.
Yes.
I got Clemson winning on that one.
I'm going Rutgers. I'm going with Rutgers. They played the fourth hardest schedule in the country. They played great defense. They're an experienced team. And Ron Harper and Jacob Young, man, they're both averaging 15, 16 points a game. And I think this is another upset here. 10 over 7. Happens all the time.
Okay. I could see it. But I got Clemson on that one. Final game of the first round. We have 2-seed Houston, 15-seed Cleveland State. Houston
rolls, but I will say this. Houston, Kelvin Sampson has Houston rolling. They're playing great defense, number 2 team in the land, but I'm not as high on Houston as some people are.
I'm not either. I think Houston eventually meets their demise, but they move on today.
Absolutely.
Well, let's move on to the round of 32. In the West region, we got 1 seed. With that one, I had Gonzaga moving on.
Yeah, Gonzaga rolls on that one.
And I got Missouri. Didn't play Missouri, but either way, Gonzaga moves on that one.
Yes, sir. Gonzaga. The only thing is, I had Oklahoma there, and Oklahoma's beat some great basketball teams this year, top 10 caliber basketball teams. And I'm not one of those guys that thinks Gonzaga is unbeatable, because I think you can beat Gonzaga. WVU almost did, and so did BYU. Oklahoma could beat them here, but Gonzaga moves on.
Okay. I have Creighton, Virginia, 5-4 matchup in second.
See, I have Ohio and UC Santa Barbara. This was This was that 12-13 matchup that I had here, and Ohio's a really, really good team, and Ohio has this kid in Preston that is the LaMelo Ball of NCAA. Like, he can pass, and he's an exciting player. And a part of me wants to pick Ohio, but UC Santa Barbara can shoot that 3, and you live and die by it. And I'm going to live by it with UC Santa Barbara.
Well, what I'm thinking is, because I know we've already picked based on the first round. What I would be open to is, we can make this like a weekly thing, whichever, but we can talk about that later.
Absolutely, man.
Because that way it's an updated bracket, you know what I'm saying? But
we might have to make a run at this thing for the next couple of weeks, because there's gonna be we're gonna get on here and I'm like, Ryder, what the hell were you thinking on picking?
Yeah, exactly.
Picking Virginia to come out of the first round. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, we'll go through it. We'll see. I have in the following game, I have USC and Kansas.
Yeah, I want to pick USC because of Evan Mobley, but Big 12 rolls. Kansas is hot, and this is one of the mirrors you can see Kansas in the Final Four.
Okay. This is what I had 10-seed VCU playing 2-seed Iowa, second round. I think you had on that one. I think you had you had Oregon. I believe on that one. Moving on.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Lost track of where we was at. But yes, 100% Oregon rolls.
Yeah. You think Oregon beats Iowa? Or you think
Iowa hasn't won that many big time matchups this year. Like, they're overhyped because Garza's nice and whatever, but
yeah.
But this is one of those things, like, Oregon could go on a run, and part of me wants to pick Oregon, but nah. Iowa moves on barely.
I got Iowa moving to the Sweet 16. Let's move to the East bracket. Second round, I got 1-seed Michigan, 8-seed LSU.
That's what I have, and I think Michigan moves on here. Michigan's a good team.
Okay. I got Michigan as well moving on. Now I got 12-seed Georgetown, 4 seed Florida State in the second round.
Florida State's going to go on here because, like I said before, Leonard Hamilton has that Florida State. That's a mean basketball team.
They got a lot of size.
They got a bunch of size, a bunch of talent, and yeah, Florida State moves on. I don't know as much about Colorado. I don't get to watch as much of that Pac-12 After Dark as I would like, but yeah, Florida State.
Yeah, I got Florida State rolling on that one, especially if they do meet at Georgetown. I just think the luck ran out. You know, great season for Georgetown, but it ends in the second round against Florida State. After that, I got 6 seed BYU and 3 seed Texas.
Man, I'm super high on Texas, but like I was telling you earlier, BYU is definitely capable of making a run in this thing, but Shaka Smart's going to have those guys so ready to go. They're coming off that Big 12 championship. They only had to play one game and win a Big 12 championship. It was crazy.
Yeah. I think Texas is looking good right now.
They're looking good.
I think if that matchup did happen, I think BYU would play them good. Now, Texas is shooters, you know, man, if they can hit them, which they can.
But if they're cold.
No, if they're cold,
you can beat them easily.
You can beat them, but I think it moves on. I think Texas wins at least by 10.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on down. I have UConn 7 seed. I think you picked Maryland on that one.
I picked Maryland coming out of that one.
Versus 2 seed Alabama. I got Alabama winning that one.
Yeah, Alabama rolls. They're too good for who did I say? Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're too good for Maryland. Alabama's a good basketball team, obviously, but
yeah, I think either one, whoever wins that between UConn or Maryland, they'll stand a chance on that one at least. But that sets up a good, sweet 16 matchup versus Alabama and Texas, which we'll talk about that one as well.
That's going to be a great game.
South region, you got number 1. I got number 1 seed Baylor versus 9 seed Wisconsin in that one.
Yeah, I had Wisconsin moving on, and like I said earlier, man, Baylor is that is a bunch of grown men, and they're rolling.
Yep, I got Baylor winning handily on that one, at least a 10, 15-point game.
I think we can all agree with that. Most of the
world. 12 seed, I got Winthrop playing 4 seed Purdue.
I would love to see Winthrop move on, and obviously I bet your cousin would too, but nah, they're not getting it done. Purdue rolls too much size. Winthrop has not seen that much size all year long, and Purdue takes care of business. Okay.
Well, I have following that the 6 seed Texas Tech versus 3 seed Arkansas.
Chris Beard, Texas Tech, Big 12, sign it, put it on the bracket. Texas Tech moves on.
Man, I got Arkansas.
Man, no, you're crazy.
I got Arkansas, man. I got them.
Texas Tech they went to the Elite 8 in 18, and I think the Final Four in 19. They were the national runner-up, went to the championship game. I mean, Chris Beard's a ball coach, like Texas Tech.
Man, I respect your opinion, but man, Texas Tech. It seemed like there was glimpses of them being really good this year, but then there was times they hit mush.
They couldn't hit a shot.
Yeah, they couldn't hit it, and I think that comes back to bite them. I love Chris Beard. I think he's a great coach, but it ends versus Arkansas. I got Arkansas moving on to Sweet 16. I got upset Virginia Tech on the 10 seed, facing the 2 seed Ohio State in the second round.
Man, Ohio State's too good for him. Virginia Tech is getting better at basketball, and I know a lot of people that like Virginia Tech. And shout out to my boy Matt that loves Virginia Tech. They're getting better, but nah. Ohio State takes care of business. As bad as I hate Ohio State.
Yeah, I got Ohio State moving on that one. Moving to the Midwest region.
Oh, this is that fun region.
Yeah, this is where it gets good. I got 1 seed Illinois and 9 seed Georgia Tech.
I got the 1 seed Illinois rolls. I didn't have Georgia Tech winning that. I had Loyola, and as much as I want to see Loyola make another run to the Final Four, they have that chaplain. She's 101 years old. She's the chaplain of the Loyola basketball team. Her name is Sister Jean, and she still lives on campus to this day and offers students advice when they need it. And I would just love to see them make another run for her. But nah, Illinois rolls.
Okay, I got Illinois. Either way, I got Georgia Tech instead of Loyola. But here's the thing, and I brought this up a little bit ago. If Georgia Tech does win, which I think they will, and they do get to play Illinois in the second round, that doesn't leave a lot of time, which Brad Underwood has played that type of system before.
Right.
At Stephen F. Austin, this and that. And I think he did a little bit at Oklahoma State. I can't remember for sure. But that's going to be a really good matchup. It's going to be a very physical matchup. It's a very defensive matchup, I believe. I believe either way, Illinois wins it. But Georgia Tech will give them a run for their money. Very physical defense, causes turnovers. But I think Illinois wins on that one. Either way.
Illinois rolls. They're a good team.
5 seed. I got 5 seed Tennessee, 4 seed Oklahoma State.
Tennessee's good. Rick Barnes has Tennessee playing great defense, and they block a bunch of shots, and I think they will give Oklahoma State a ton of problems. But this is just one of the things. I truly believe Oklahoma State is hot right now. Even though they lost in the Big 12 championship game, they shouldn't have been there. I mean, they're hot right now. They were underseeded. The boys roll. Oklahoma State moves on.
I actually agree with you on that one. I got Oklahoma State moving on to face Illinois in the Sweet 16.
Absolutely.
Well, we got the 6 seed San Diego State, 3 seed West Virginia in the second round.
San Diego State is a great basketball team. Coach Brian Dutcher has these guys at the number 7 defensive team in the nation. They have great depth. Get a bunch of steals. Honestly, that'll be like our nemesis. Like we'll be like looking at our old self. Maybe not this year, but that is a West Virginia basketball team. San Diego State is. But I think we get bombed pretty easily. Actually, I think we can pick that defense apart and move on.
I could see this game being a lot closer than the experts would say.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all.
I wouldn't either. More people were actually picking San Diego State to beat WVU in that.
WVU's lost a bunch. Lost a few games here lately. I mean, we could lose to Morehead State. You just never know.
Exactly.
If we would have did this podcast like last week when WVU lost, I'd been picking Morehead State all day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got time to heal a little bit.
Hey, I had time to heal, man. I'm good. I'm back to myself. I believe in Bob. We're gonna get it done.
I got WVU moving on though against San Diego State barely, but I have 7 seed Clemson versus 2 seed Houston.
Houston rolls.
Houston. I got Houston win on that one as well. So that will close out the second round, and now we move on to the Sweet 16 portion of the picks. This is where I think it really starts to get good.
It gets good right here. This is where things get rowdy.
Yeah, this is where the games are really, really going to get good and in the Elite Eight. But starting off in the West, I got 1 seed Gonzaga versus 4 seed Virginia is who I picked to make it there.
Yeah, I did not have Virginia making it that far, but Gonzaga's beaten everybody. Rolls to the Elite Eight. They're so good.
I think this game is really close.
Tony Bennett, Virginia, they play great defense. I mean, they could beat them.
Well, they can shoot this year too.
Yes,
That is one thing that they can do. Is kind of like West Virginia a little bit, where they were kind of like the same a little bit. Not really. Pack line a little different. But, man, Virginia can shoot. If Virginia can shoot and play defense, Virginia cannot shot, especially on neutral site. But I got Gonzaga winning on that one. Another good game out in the West. Number 3 seed Kansas, number 2 seed Iowa.
Kansas, man. They're hot. They've won like 9 of 10 games. I think they would have won the Big 12 championship had they not had that COVID scare. And I think Kansas is hot at the right time. I think they roll on.
Yeah, man, I completely agree with that. I think it's a good game. I think all these games for the
They're all
most part,
great games.
are
They're
all
it's
going to be
gonna
great games.
awesome. Like that's
Yeah.
I can't express enough. Like this is gonna be one of the better tournaments, like barring something crazy, COVID or anything. This is gonna be a great tournament. I do believe that.
All right. Moving to the East. Number 1 seed Michigan, 4 seed Florida State, who's I have.
I would love to pick Florida State here just because I think Leonard Hamilton and Florida State has, I mean, they play good defense. I think they can. I think they can get it done. Defense wins championships, and they have good recruits. He's a good recruiter. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit for it down there in the ACC. I mean, I'm gonna go Florida State.
Oh, whoa! I have Michigan. I
Yeah,
have
they're
Michigan
beat,
moving on.
man. Vegas wants you to get beat. You're getting beat.
I think it's a really good game. I didn't want to pick against Florida State, but I think Michigan ends it. Great season, down in Tallahassee, but they'll be back next year. But I think Michigan moves on.
Absolutely.
Moving on, still staying in the East, we got 3 seed Texas, 2 seed Alabama.
I really, really, really want to pick Alabama. Like they just won the SEC tournament, and they're trending up at the right time. But man, it's just such a tough decision. I like Alabama in this one. I think it's their time. I think Nate Oates and Alabama. I think they move on here.
Nah, not so fast, my friend. I have Texas moving on this one. I think Texas finally shows Alabama. I feel like it's coming.
This is an old football matchup here, man. Like
I think
Alabama's not supposed to be good at basketball, but they're really not that bad.
But I think the season comes to an end. Great season, whatever. You'll have another good season in about 20 years, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see. I think Texas moves on though. It's a close game. I think Texas pulls away about 10 towards the end. Moving to the South region, I got 1 seed Baylor, 4 seed Purdue on that one.
Purdue's going to give them a fight just because they got the size to compete with Baylor, but Baylor has all of those guards that shoot lights out. So Baylor moves on.
Yeah, I got Baylor moving on. I think that's the one game that could be the biggest blowout of the Sweet 16
Very well could be, honestly.
Now, staying in the South, Arkansas 3 seed versus 2 seed Ohio State is who I have.
Ohio State moves on here pretty easily.
Yeah, I got Ohio State moving on to play Baylor in the Elite Eight, which that would be a really good game.
Very good game.
Moving to the final bracket, the Midwest for the Sweet 16, I have Illinois the 1 seed and 4 seed Oklahoma State.
Man, I want to pick Oklahoma State so bad. Just momentum, and they're playing great basketball. And I will be surprised if they win. But Illinois, did you watch them in the Big 12 championship game or the Big 10 championship game? They're a good team.
Yeah,
Illinois moved on here.
Yeah, I got Oklahoma State really played great towards the later half of the year. Got a lot of momentum.
Oh, playing great.
But I feel like it's done. I think that great season, but as they say, all good things have to come to an end. I have Illinois moving on that one.
Illinois moves on. They're a great team, great offensive team. Great. They make shots. You make shots, you win games. But Illinois does not have a lot of depth, and you get them in foul trouble, that's the way to you can beat them.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think it's a really good game, but I think at the end of the day, Illinois is just a better team. That late in, I think Illinois wins it.
I don't disagree with you there.
Final Sweet 16 game, West Virginia 3 seed versus 2 seed Houston.
Man, the Mountaineers are gonna roll right here. Like I think WVU was gifted with this seeding and this bracket. I really like our chances to go far. I really do. And Houston hasn't played anybody. Like they have a great record, yeah. They have a good coach, but they haven't physically played the schedule that WVU has.
No, they've only played one ranked team. So,
but they play good defense. But that's another thing with these teams that don't play good teams. They have a highly ranked defense.
Yeah, I think their defense is only giving up 57.9 points a game. So that's a top 5 defense.
That's tier. That's top tier, man. And they beat Texas Tech. Houston did beat Texas Tech.
They did by 11. They did. Yes. But as they say, I mean, at least West Virginia did beat them twice. So that is, you look good on both sides. I mean, at least if Houston did beat Texas Tech, which they did, at least West Virginia did counter that and did get both the wins against Texas Tech.
I agree. But, I think this sets WVU up for a very, very, very good opportunity to move on.
But here's the thing. I have West Virginia winning this round right here. But, and I've said this before, and I've said this, as long as Huggins has been there, in order for West Virginia to, yes, you had to have a couple things go your way. One, the seeding, how you pointed to. The seeding this year, and compared to years past, is a godsend, right? You have no Kentucky. You have no Kentucky in your bracket. You have no Duke to worry about. This is the best seeding probably since Stephen F. Austin, since 2016, that we didn't have to worry about really a juggernaut until this late. So if West Virginia can hit their shots, which if they do not, and that is, I've always said it, if West Virginia wants to win past the Sweet 16, they have to hit their shots.
I 100% agree. I could not agree more.
Yeah, that's been the problem.
Yeah, we don't hit our shots. We lose this game pretty easily.
Yeah, you have to be able to.
You have
one
to
of these games.
Shots.
Yeah, and it may happen sooner. It may happen in the.
Yeah, we might do it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. San Diego State, it could be something like that. But
and then, dude, that's where Kawhi Leonard came from. San Diego State is a defensive school. I mean they're gonna come out and punch us in the mouth. We got to be ready to go and make shots and play.
I mean, even if you play Syracuse, that's still not a slap.
I don't want to play Syracuse at all, man. They'll put that zone on us and make us shoot from the outside. I think that'll be a tough game for us.
See, that's where you're gonna have to hit your shots at.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see on that one. Next week once we when we do this again, we'll see who's right.
How good we were.
Yeah. Now to moving on to the Elite Eight in the West. Man, these matchups.
Yeah, they're good, man.
These matchups are sweet.
It's like one of the best matchups in recent years. You're not having a lot of inter-conference matchups. Like, we haven't had a single same conference matchup yet.
No, we haven't. I think that's really, even with the teams you could have picked, it wouldn't really happen that much. I don't know.
No.
But anyways, let's get to picking. We'll Gonzaga versus 3 seed Kansas.
Kansas can win this game, and they played at the beginning of the season, and Gonzaga beat them by like 15, I think, or something or another.
Yes.
And if Kansas rolls this far and they're winning convincingly, I think Gonzaga has a lot to worry about.
Yeah,
a lot to worry about.
Exactly, and I think if Gonzaga's going to slip up, since they did play early in the year,
it's going to happen right here in this game. If they're slipping up and losing, Kansas it's going to be this Kansas game.
Well, even if, and how my picks kind of align a little bit, their Final Four matchup's not going to be the easiest either.
No.
You're either going to have a Texas or a Michigan, either way. And that's still not ideal. But the thing about Gonzaga is, and that's why I have them going this far or farther, is because of their schedule they played. In the years past, you're like, Gonzaga,
They played a ridiculous schedule.
They played a Kansas when they were ranked. I think Kansas was a top 10 team, I believe. West Virginia was ranked 11th. They didn't get to play Baylor, which that would have been a 1-2 matchup. You got to play a Virginia team, which was ranked. You played BYU 3 times, which is a tournament team.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. They did play one other team that was ranked. I cannot remember the name of it. But either way, Gonzaga won handily. West Virginia was the closest game that even come close.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I think they're going to roll. And there's this talk about Mark Few's just going to win him a championship and go fishing. That's all he wants to do is finally get him a chip and go fishing. So this might be the year, man.
That was a tough one for me to pick. I got Gonzaga. moving on. That's going to be a close game within 5.
Yes, very close.
In the East, 1 seed Michigan, 3 seed Texas. Winner plays Gonzaga. So.
Yeah, Texas, man. Big 12's going to roll. I think Big 12's going to shine. I really do. I think the Big 12's going to shine.
Well, I got Texas moving on. I think this is going to be a really, really, really good game. One of the best games of the tournament.
And I think if Juwan Howard and the boys with Michigan are hot right now when they get here, and if they could get over Texas and get to the Final Four, right? This is Elite Eight, right?
Yeah, it's Elite Eight.
Right? If they get to the Final Four, they have a hell of a chance of winning the championship. But Michigan has some tough games, like the Sweet 16 matchup's tough. This Elite Eight matchup's tough. First game in the Final Four is tough. Michigan got to win some ball games to get it done. So,
yeah, I agree. I got Texas moving on. Like I said, this is probably one of the best games of the tournament.
This is going to be a good game. I wanted to pick Michigan, but I got Texas moving on here.
I got Texas barely on this one. I could have went either way on this one, but I consider it a toss up. I got Texas on that one. Moving to the South, you have 1 seed Baylor, 2 seed Ohio State.
This is going to be a ball game that the Ohio State Buckeyes and all their fans think they can win. But I got news for them. They haven't played anybody like Baylor. Baylor's rolling on here. Baylor's good.
I think Ohio State could easily win this game. I really do. They could.
Don't get me wrong. They've played that level of competition, but I think Baylor gets out early, punches them in the mouth, makes shots, and takes care of business because Baylor wants a championship. Bad.
Yeah. I agree with you completely. I have Baylor winning it, but don't let the guard down. And if Baylor has one of those games where they've had in the last about a week or so,
dude, Matt, yeah,
they might be out earlier. But
hey, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
This is going to be a mental game, dude. Like, we could get down to this thing at the end and have 6 seeds and 4 seeds and all kinds of 3s and 4s and like floating around. Like, it could be
oh yeah,
it could be crazy.
Because my highest seed in the Elite Eight is like a 3 seed. It's really I know there's going to be more upsets, but I think there was a lot of upsets early, and that kind of panned out.
Absolutely.
Now the final Elite Eight game: Illinois and West Virginia.
I'm a Mountaineer fan through and through, and I want to pick the Mountaineers here. And I think if we're hot right here, like, we win convincingly up to this game. Bob has the boys ready. I think he can have them mentally prepared for the aspect of being in Indianapolis this long and going against the team of Illinois' statue. It's not going to affect us. It's nothing we haven't seen before.
No.
So I'm going to pick WVU here just because I think if WVU can get here to this game, we have a hell of a chance of going to the Final Four.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it ends.
It ends.
It ends, man. Illinois wins in a close game. I think the shooting finally catches up with West Virginia. The defense has been kind of lackluster a little bit.
The defense is not good. Our defense is terrible. Our defense has got – first of all, our defense has got to be better in the tournament.
I think this is the game where it catches up with them. I think this is, a great season, Elite Eight, under the circumstances, but season ends and they go back to Morgantown. Final Four. I have Gonzaga and Texas in that matchup.
Yeah, I got Gonzaga moving on. That's what I was telling you. Like, there's a lot of these upsets where we don't agree with things. But, man, when you get down to the end, you got Gonzaga moving on to the championship game here. I think they rolled Texas. Mark Few gets a championship at Gonzaga. He's done it all there. You know what I mean? Like, that's the final piece to the puzzle for him. He wants a national championship to hang from the Raptors at Gonzaga.
I got Gonzaga moving on. Now Baylor, Illinois.
Man, now this is a coin toss here. These are both very, very good teams. I obviously had WVU moving on, so you'd have a Baylor WVU matchup here. And if that happens, I'm Dude, the Mountaineers could beat them because we need revenge on them. They canceled us 4 times, some COVID things and whatnot. It was a close game when we played them in Morgantown, I think. And I think we could beat them there, but will the stage be too big?
That would be the problem. And I will say this. I think any team can beat any team. I'm not saying a 16 or anything. I'm saying any of the teams, the top 16 teams per se.
I think anybody can beat anybody any given day at any time.
I really do. And I think if West Virginia, like I said, if they can shoot consistently, we'll see. But in years past, until I'm proven that, I can't go further with it.
I got Baylor here. I want to pick Illinois, and I'll probably pick them in a couple brackets, and whatnot. But I think Baylor, with the schedule, Baylor is going to be a little fresher than Illinois. I think Illinois played a few more games than Baylor. Baylor got a break through the conference tournament. Illinois played up until I think they played on Sunday, actually, because their tournament goes an extra day. I think Baylor gets the job done. I think Illinois is going to be a little bit tired by this game, and I think we're going to get the game everybody wants. Gonzaga Baylor. We're going to get that Gonzaga Baylor game at the end. I do believe that.
That's what I got. I have Gonzaga Baylor playing, and I got Gonzaga winning it.
Yeah, I hate to agree with you, but that's what's going to happen. Mark Few wants the championship. They're undefeated. We're going to get the first undefeated championship since 50 years or something. Long time, 30 years, 50 years. It was a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up and find out. But Gonzaga will be the first #1 seed since Louisville in 2013 to cut the nets down.
And that championship's nullified because of strippers, right?
Gosh, that's okay.
That's what I was saying earlier. I was telling my wife about it. I'm like, man, you don't even know about Rick Pitino. They get mad about all these guys paying all these players. Oh, he was the one was paying strippers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who
fucking cares?
Yeah, exactly. But I think, like I said, this is the game that everybody wants. I think this is the game we deserve. These are for all year long. These have been the top five teams there all year long.
I really wish we'd have got that Gonzaga Baylor game early in the year.
I would too. I really, really do.
But I think the basketball gods. I think it happens.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, man, this will be a really, really good tournament.
Man, it's gonna be a ton of fun, man. I think with your bracket challenge, I think that's gonna be fun. There's tons of money leagues out there, DraftKings, FanDuel. There's all kinds of fantasy sports that you can do with this tournament. I mean, technology's soaring. It's a fun event, man. Even sports betting, man, on the over-unders. It's gonna be an awesome, awesome, awesome tournament.
Oh, I agree. I think this will be one of the best tournaments of our life. I think.
And so, it's in a bubble.
Yeah, so it's in a bubble essentially. It won't be what we're used to.
No.
But I think it will be really, really good. And like I said, if you're willing to come back, next week,
I'm down, dude. I'll come back next week, and we'll see how we did on our picks, man.
Yeah, we'll dissect the first round, go over the second round, actual real games.
Yes, I would love that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll do that for the rest of the tournament. Right up to the championship game, we'll bring it on. We'll do it. That's a lot of fun, man. I'm glad you came.
It's been a lot of fun. It's my first podcast, man. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for having me. And
yeah, man.
It's been a blast.
I'm glad you came on and everything. Like I said, man, I appreciate it. You're a great guy. But I respect your sports opinions. So, but yeah, come on next week. We'll talk about the first round. And, go further in the second round. And actually, we'll be going over the Sweet 16. Actually.
Yeah, it'll be the first 2 rounds. Yeah. So we'll have quite a bit to talk about. Really, it'll probably be about this show. I mean, we'll have tons of content.
Oh yeah, I see. I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be the. So yeah, we'll bring you back on. We'll probably same time next week and everything. We'll get you back and we'll talk more. But I do appreciate.
Dude, that'll be perfect.
Yeah, man. Stick on once we get done here, and we'll talk a little bit more. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on though.
Thank you for having me.